In March 2023, something happened that barely made headlines in the West, but sent shockwaves through the corridors of power in Washington. Saudi Arabia and China signed a deal, not just any deal, a deal to buy oil in yuan, not dollars. For 78 years, since the end of World War II, oil has been sold in one currency, the American dollar. It's been the backbone of American economic dominance, the reason the U.S. can print money without consequence, the foundation of empire. And now, quietly, methodically, that system is beginning to crack. This isn't a sudden collapse. This is a chess game played over decades, and China is 3 moves ahead. To understand what's really happening, you need to go back to 1944. The world was still burning from war, and the global powers gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to rebuild the international financial system. They decided the US dollar would be the world's reserve currency, backed by gold. Every country that wanted to trade internationally needed dollars. It was brilliant. America could print money, and the world had to accept it because they needed it to buy oil, to trade goods, to settle debts. It gave the United States a superpower no one talks about enough, monetary hegemony. But there was a problem. In 1971, President Nixon did something unprecedented. He took the dollar off the gold standard. Suddenly, the dollar wasn't backed by anything tangible, just the promise of the US government. Countries panicked. Why would they keep using dollars if it was just paper? That's when Henry Kissinger made one of the most consequential deals in modern history. He flew to Saudi Arabia and struck an agreement. The Saudis would sell oil exclusively in dollars, and in return, the US would provide military protection. Oil became the new gold. Every country on earth needed oil, which meant every country needed dollars. The petrodollar was born, and for 50 years, it's been untouchable. Until now. China has been watching, learning, waiting. And over the past 2 decades, they've been building an alternative system brick by brick, completely under the radar. It started with trade. In the early 2000s, China became the world's factory. They manufactured everything, your phone, your clothes, your furniture. But every time they sold something, they got paid in dollars. They accumulated trillions of them. By 2013, China held over $1 trillion in US Treasury bonds. They were funding America's debt while building America's products. It seemed like a win for the US until you realize what China was really doing. They were studying the system. They were learning how the dollar gave America leverage, how it allowed the US to impose sanctions, freeze assets, control who trades with whom. And China decided they didn't want to be vulnerable to that power anymore. So they started the long game. First, currency swaps. China began making agreements with countries to trade directly in their own currencies, bypassing the dollar entirely. Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, the BRICS nations. These weren't small players. Together, they represent over 40% of the world's population and a quarter of global GDP. One by one, China signed deals. Trade oil in yuan, sell cars in rupees, buy soybeans in reais. The dollar was slowly being cut out. Then came the Belt and Road Initiative. If you haven't heard of it, you should have. It's the largest infrastructure project in human history. China is building roads, railways, ports, and power plants in over 70 countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. They're lending hundreds of billions of dollars, not in dollars, but in yuan. Countries take Chinese loans, build Chinese projects, and pay back in Chinese currency. It's economic colonization disguised as partnership. And it's working. Look at Kenya. China financed a massive railway project there. When Kenya struggled to repay, China didn't just forgive the debt, they took control of the port of Mombasa as collateral. It's happening in Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Djibouti. China isn't just lending money, they're buying influence and they're doing it in yuan. But the real masterstroke? The digital yuan. In 2020, China launched the world's first central bank digital currency. It's not Bitcoin, it's not decentralized. It's a digital version of the yuan, fully controlled by the Chinese government. They can track every transaction, control how it's spent, and bypass the international banking system entirely. Think about what that means. If countries adopt the digital yuan for trade, they don't need SWIFT, the US-controlled payment system. They don't need Western banks. They don't need dollars. China has already started testing it with other nations. Russia is interested. Iran is interested. Venezuela, Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, they're all exploring it. These aren't random countries. These are nations that have been sanctioned or threatened by the United States. They want an alternative, and China is offering one. Now, let's talk about gold. While the West has been printing money and inflating debt, China has been quietly stockpiling gold. They're now the world's largest gold producer and one of the largest holders. Why does this matter? Because if you're trying to build a currency that rivals the dollar, you need credibility. You need something backing it. The digital yuan might be backed by gold reserves, making it more attractive than a dollar that's backed by nothing but debt. And then there's the geopolitical angle. The war in Ukraine changed everything. When the West froze Russia's dollar reserves and kicked Russian banks out of SWIFT, it sent a clear message to every country watching. If you cross the US, your money isn't safe. China saw this. So did India, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil. It was a warning, but also an opportunity. Suddenly, countries started asking, do we really want all our reserves in a currency that can be weaponized against us? The answer, increasingly, is no. Saudi Arabia's oil deal with China wasn't just symbolic, it was a crack in the foundation. If the Saudis, the anchor of the petrodollar system, are willing to accept Yuan, what's stopping others? The UAE is considering it. Russia is already doing it. Even France has completed yuan-based transactions for liquefied natural gas. The dominoes are starting to fall. But here's what most people don't realize. China doesn't need to replace the dollar overnight. They just need to make it optional. Right now, about 60% of global reserves are held in dollars. If that drops to 40%, the US loses its ability to borrow cheaply. Interest rates rise. Inflation becomes uncontrollable. The entire American economic model, built on cheap debt and global trust, starts to crumble. And China knows this. They're playing the long game because they've learned from history. The British pound was once the world's reserve currency. It took decades for the dollar to replace it, but once the transition started, it was inevitable. Empires don't fall overnight. They erode, slowly, quietly, until one day, everyone looks around and realizes the world has changed. So what happens next? If the dollar loses its reserve status, everything changes. The US can't print money without consequences anymore. The cost of living skyrockets. The military, which relies on cheap borrowing, has to shrink. America's ability to project power diminishes. Meanwhile, China rises not through war, but through economics. The scary part? Most people in the West have no idea this is happening. It's not dramatic. There's no invasion, no declaration. Just deals, agreements, and currency swaps. A slow, silent revolution. China isn't trying to destroy the dollar. They're just making it irrelevant. And in a world where economic power determines everything, that might be the smartest move of all. The question isn't whether the dollar will fall. The question is whether we'll even notice when it does.